Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Jules. Today I have 5 tips to gain clarity, and I'll go ahead and give you a quick definition of what I think clarity is. It used to be a lot different for me. I used to perceive clarity as having a very specific goal in mind, planning out every single step of how I was going to achieve that goal, and then knowing when it would happen. Today, that is no longer my definition of clarity. Clarity to me is something that's actually more adaptable. It is a state of being that allows you to find what makes you happy and to exist in that state of happiness for longer periods of time, and to find what works for you as time moves on and life changes, because it does. And so without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and give you a brief overview of the tips that we're going to cover today. So tip number 1 is to develop a journaling practice. Tip number 2 is to clean. Tip number 3 is to exercise and to treat your body well. Tip number 4 is to find time and space to meditate. And then 5 is more of a mindset that I will explain later, so make sure you stick until the end so that you can hear about that. So tip number 1, to develop a journaling practice. I love this tip because journaling is something that I do on a regular basis. I do it at least once a day, if not more frequently. There are also times in my life where I go several days without doing it, but one thing that I love to do when I journal is to just basically sit down and write all the emotions I'm feeling, how my body feels in the moment, and then basically what tasks I'm working on for the day. So I started this practice in college, and I have this document on my computer even still called Thoughts, where I will basically sit down and be like, oh my god, I am so anxious today because I have all this shit to do, or I feel so bothered because this person I like didn't give me the time of day, or whatever. It'll basically be a lot of junk, mental junk like that. And then finally, I am working on X project, I have this paper to write, and then I'll start basically like outlining or diving into the thing that I really want to focus on. But I feel like the big part of this practice is that I allow myself the space to feel the feelings that are distracting and that are taking away my energy, and then I can finally give myself the space and the time and energy to focus on the things that I really want to do and what I really want to achieve. So journaling is a great place to really practice dreaming and kind of visioning what you want your life to look like. And I also find that over time, having a consistent journaling practice helps me to notice that all moments, happy, sad, or particularly mundane, are fleeting. And it's helpful when I'm feeling down, because I can go back and see that, just like all moments in time, this one will pass and surely more good will come to me as well. So if you can, develop a journaling practice. And I also have a post on my Instagram where I talk about more of my daily journaling routine in the morning, and I'll go ahead and link that down below in the description box if you are interested in checking that out. Okay, tip number 2 is to clean. I am basically living in the room that I lived in when I went to high school, and I just moved back home to Las Vegas. That's an easier way of saying it. And I haven't lived in this room for the past 5 years. And so one of the first things I did when I decided to basically move back home was to go through all of my things and to mercilessly give them away. So basically the gifts from high school boyfriends, the prom dresses, all of that stuff just had to go because I no longer resonate with it. For me, it almost feels like I have a lot of dissonance and old memories popping up with a lot of these objects. I'm currently trying to make more space in my life for the things that I enjoy and for the things that I love. And for example, my art practice is really big for me, and I'm currently trying to convert this room into a studio so I can have more practical space to work. So that process of deciding what belongs in my life and what doesn't has been really good for me. And a mantra I really like to repeat as I am going through this cleaning process is, I'm letting this go so that more and better good can come into my life. I'm letting this go so that more and better good can come into my life. And I feel like this is an awesome mantra to repeat, even with your relationships, your career, basically with everything, because we all know that we hold on to things that are no longer serving us. And I think the hardest part of that is the disbelief that something better is available and will come to us. So if we can just practice more letting go, we are open to receiving the things that will actually really make us happy. My third tip is to exercise. So along with exercise is just the general tip of taking good care of your body, because you are more able to assess what you need and what you want if you basically have the foundation of knowing that you're taking good care of your body. That means eating healthily, exercising regularly, and drinking enough water. Try to avoid pushing your body to the limits. There are for sure times in my life where I don't get enough sleep, or I skip meals, or I'm not drinking enough water. And those are the moments where I've started to notice I feel the most anxious or inclined to feel depressed. And these days, I actually have more time to take care of my body by sleeping more, drinking water, eating and exercising regularly. And I just find that I'm more able to pinpoint what I really need on an emotional level and a physical level when I'm able to do those things. For me, I love running because it gets me outside and it helps me to see new things, and runner's high is for sure a thing that I love, and basically helps me feel more in flow and in tune with my life. And with that, I feel the intention of wanting to better yourself and your health, and to prepare for another day where you are healthier is something that really makes a big difference. Okay, so tip number 4. Number 4 is to meditate. But for me, meditating is basically just quieting your mind and taking 20 minutes out of my day to notice my breathing, to notice the sounds around me, to notice how my body feels. With this meditation practice, I've just found that I'm able to reset my brain basically when I'm feeling anxious or stressed, or I've been doing a lot of things and I need to move on to another task and I'm finding a hard time focusing. Meditation has been really awesome to just like put me in the right frame of mind and have that laser beam focus that helps me get things done efficiently and calmly, and also just in a happy way. Yeah, there are a lot of great apps out there that help with meditation practice. I can recommend 2 to you. So I love Headspace, especially for beginners, because it has a beautiful user interface and also just gorgeous animations that I love. Headspace, however, is not free. You have to subscribe to it. There are different payment levels, and I think there's a discount for students. So that's why my second recommendation is going to be this app called Calm. And there are parts of the app that are free, and there are even sleep stories, which are basically stories you listen to while you're falling asleep to like slow down your mind. And so definitely check those 2 out. I'll go ahead and link those 2 down below as well. And yeah, I am not sponsored by these apps. They're just things and tools that I've used over time that I know have helped me. So I highly recommend that you check them out if you haven't already. Okay, this final tip is more of a mindset, and this mindset is to focus on the things that you want instead of the things that you don't want. If you're watching this video, I'm going to assume that you're at a point in your life where you've been experiencing things that you don't like and you want to make some changes. When you're in that phase, there is no point in believing things that don't help you make those changes. So it'll only help you to believe that you can make those changes instead of believing that you will forever be stuck in the same position. There is no point in believing that you can't have a better life. That belief only goes against you. So aside from the fact of your current circumstance, we are constantly creating our reality by the beliefs that we have. And if you believe that you can have a better life, it'll only help you. Even if you are in a circumstance in your life right now, if you're in an environment where you're surrounded by people who make you feel unworthy, unloved, and powerless, that does not mean that you are not a powerful being. You are so deserving, you are so lovable, you are so worthy of everything you want, even if your circumstances tell you constantly that you are not. And that is why cultivating that belief and that power in yourself is so important, because that never ever leaves you. Sometimes it's just harder to access, but that's why it's so important to remove other people from the equation and to get quiet and to think about yourself and to know you are magnificent, you are powerful, and you are capable of doing amazing things. And so those are my 5 tips. I guess the last thing I want to say is that for me, happiness is clarity. We live our life day to day, and I just mentioned a lot of these practices that are not necessarily things that bring you to any certain destination, but help cultivate an awareness of life and how you might want to live it. Because we're not doing all of these things so that we might someday become successful and have made it. We're doing this to be in a state of being where we are happy and able to receive good things that are coming to us and to be a better person for ourselves and for other people in this world. So with that, I just want to say thank you for sticking around to the end of this video. Again, my name is Jules. My Instagram is jules.pools. Please go follow me there if you haven't already for more updates. Subscribe if you haven't already. And like this video if you found it helpful. Please tell me below in the comments if any of these tips spoke to you and what makes you happy. I would love to hear it. So thank you again for tuning in for this video, and I hope you have a beautiful day.